And in this video, what I want to do is show you some of the great sights here in Oslo, Norway. What a beautiful country and a beautiful city so far that we've seen. But I want to just point out some of the highlights here that you want to see. Starting out with one is the Oslo National Theater. This is one of the largest venues in Oslo for the performing arts. It was built back in 1899 and has withstood all of the wars and things that have went on over here. It's still just a beautiful sight. You can go in, take tours of it. And it's in this wonderful town square area that's surrounded with restaurants, bars, you name it, just about everything you might want, including shopping here. And another stop here in Oslo is Vigeland Park, which is connected to Frogner Park, which is absolutely a massive park, one of the largest here in Oslo, and all of this area actually. They have 200 sculptures here, some made out of bronze, others out of granite. It is definitely worthwhile seeing. You probably spend about 30 minutes here walking around. You can see all the way up into the back to the fountains. Definitely beautiful and worth stopping at.
Gustav Vigeland was a Norwegian sculptor and occupies a special position among the Norwegian sculptors, both in the power of his creative imagination and in his productivity. This park is named after Vigeland, and the park is his life's work, comprising over 200 sculptures in granite, bronze, and wrought iron. It was installed mainly in the period of 1940 to 1949, but is nevertheless a result of over 40 years of work. The starting point for the park is Vigeland's fountain, which was originally meant to be placed in front of the Parliament. However, that plan was never realized, and the fountain later became part of Vigeland's more extensive park plans. I have to say, looking at these sculptures, it is absolutely amazing that somebody could be so talented and do such incredible work.
Next on the list of places to see are the two maritime museums here in Oslo. One is called the Fram and the other one is called the Kontiki. Kontiki, most people know the story of it because they made the movie out of it, the raft and on the ocean. I didn't really know anything about the Fram. Turns out the Fram is a 140-foot long icebreaker, the largest icebreaker made out of wood. It's inside the museum. You can walk all the way through it. It is absolutely fascinating. The thing is really massive. I don't know how they got it in here. I guess they built a museum around it. Kontiki has the original Kontiki raft in there also. Just amazing to look at and read about the adventures.
The Kontiki expedition was a 1947 journey by raft across the Pacific Ocean from South America to the Polynesian Islands, led by Norwegian explorer and writer Thor Heyerdahl. Heyerdahl believed that the people from South America could have reached the Polynesian during the pre-Columbian times. His aim in mounting the Kontiki expedition was to show, by using only the materials and technologies available to those people at the time, that there had been no technical reasons to prevent them from having done so. Heyerdahl and his 5 companions sailed that raft for 101 days over 4,300 miles across the Pacific Ocean. The Fram was a 3-masted schooner designed and built for Captain Nansen's 1893 to 1896 Arctic expedition, in which the plan was to freeze the Fram onto the Arctic ice sheet and float it over the North Pole. Nansen's ambition was to explore the Arctic farther north than anyone else. Knowing the freezing ice could crush the ship, Nansen's idea was to build a ship that could survive the pressure, not by pure strength, but because it would be of a shape that would let ice push it up and it would float on top of the ice. The ship eventually reached and explored the farthest north and south, reaching the Arctic and Antarctica oceans.
And when you're in Oslo, here's another site that you're going to want to see. It's Holman Cortland. It is the largest ski jump in the world, and it was built, actually a very original one was built back in the late 1800s and obviously been improved in. This is something, if you are in town, it's a must-see. Now, I cannot even imagine going up to the top of that thing, even with it filled with snow, let alone doing a ski run down it. and jumping 140 meters, which I believe now is the world record here. So pretty amazing to see. And there's and here we are at the Holman Cortland ski jump. We're going to do the simulator and take a look and see what this is like. And when you are in Oslo, one of the people here at the hotel, they said they only use Oslo Taxi. Some of the other cab drivers apparently will rip you off. I did do a lot of reading about that, and that is a problem with taxi drivers overcharging, taking you on long routes. Uber is also available here. It seems to be a lot of drivers that are out. And you have all of the public transportation that's available. The ride from the airport, well, if you get a private car, is going to cost you $120 US, which is basically the same in their currency, the krone here. So that's if you have a private car. But the train is absolutely very easy to get in on, and that's going to cost you about $7. Take you right into the city center here of Oslo. So. And the Viking Planet Museum is right behind me. It's a virtual reality museum. It's really, really interesting. There's all kinds of different sections of the throughout the centuries of the Vikings, how they lived, what they did. It has two virtual realities. One, and they call it the game, I guess, in which you are a Viking and you're shooting your bow and arrows and you have your swords and you're fighting with the other Vikings. I haven't really done much virtual reality stuff. That was the first time, and it was super interesting. You find yourself dodging arrows. The rest of it is a boat ride virtual reality where they get attacked. Very interesting museum, especially but the history part of it too. So here in Oslo. And this is another virtual reality. We'll see how this goes. Okay, and this is the Seafront Promenade out here. Great place to come. Outstanding restaurants. You walk directly down there behind me. There's sidewalk restaurants. You can also catch the ferry over to see the Kontiki and the Fram museums. Very interesting, as I've showed you in the other segment of this particular video. This is right next to City Hall to get your bearings on how to get down here. And another spot to visit is the Akershus Museum and Fortress. This giant fortress used to house the military. It still does, but they've converted many parts of it into tiny museums. Massive area over here. This is located over by the waterfront near where the cruise ships dock. Worth coming in, taking a look. Does not cost anything to come in the main entrance and walk around. Beautiful grounds here.
Akershus Fortress is a medieval castle in Oslo that was built in 1290 to protect and provide a royal residence for the city. Since the Middle Ages, the fortress has been the namesake and center of the main county of Akershus. The castle has also been used as a military base, a prison, and is currently the temporary office of the Prime Minister of Norway. The fortress has never successfully been besieged by a foreign enemy. However, it surrendered without combat to Nazi Germany in 1940 when the Norwegian government evacuated the capital in the face of the unprovoked German assault on Denmark and Norway. During World War II, people were executed here by the German occupiers, including members of the Pell Group. The fortress was liberated on May 11, 1945, when it was handed over to Terje Roem on behalf of the Norwegian resistance movement. After the war, 8 Norwegian traders who had been tried for war crimes and sentenced to death were also executed at the fortress. It's truly something worth taking a look at.
I hope you've enjoyed this video of things to do in Oslo, and hope you got something out of it too. Thanks for watching, and please hit that like button and think about subscribing. Thank you very much.